Let's play Crossout WideMouthFrog, a video by Dangerously Incompetent. When you're making your build, it's a good idea to protect your weapons, because if the enemy shoots them off, that's your combat effectiveness right down the pan for the rest of the battle. So it's a good idea to put a bit of structure around it, cover them up from the back if you're not shooting in that direction, put a bit in the front, so long as the barrel of the weapon can stick over the top and still shoot the enemy. No point just completely covering it, because then you can't shoot the enemy at all. So you could use structure for that, but even better, you can use bumpers as well, because bumpers tend to have better durability for their mass and power score. So you've got more protection for your weapon when the enemy's shooting at it. For even more protection, you can hide your weapons behind the cabin and have them peek over the top, because the cabin's got oodles of durability, and of course once the cabin's gone, you don't care about the weapons anymore. But there's other things you can hide your weapons behind, like the armoured track. It's got lots of pros going for it, the armoured track. It's big, so you can fit plenty of weapons behind it, and it's got loads of durability. It's even got resistances as well to flame and explosions and melee. You don't need to worry so much about melee. But so if you put your vehicle sideways, you could hide loads of things behind the armoured track and then peek over the top and shoot the enemy. Great! But what if you didn't hide behind and shoot over the top? What if you hide behind it and shoot through it? That's even better, even more protective, because all of your weapon is hiding behind its armour. Now I must point out that this build isn't my idea, sticking your weapons behind and shooting through the armoured track. I saw it used in battle, and I saw it used with millers, but I don't have the millers yet, so the trick was finding something that fits behind it, and I found the rapiers did, but they're a bit low power score for the rest of the build, because the rest of the build's purple. And then I found the sinuses did. So here we are, here's my WideMouthFrog, which is basically a bunch of sinuses shooting through an armoured track on a spider build. The Sinus machine gun is past its heyday, I think. It doesn't seem to do an awful lot of damage at this power score, even when you do rack up 10 hits in a row and get that tasty damage bonus. But I thought I'd start with an MVP battle, just to show that it can do well. In this case, I did well because I moved to a forward position with cover, so I wasn't hit by everything. And then the enemy obliged me by coming at me one or two at a time, letting me rack up the damage and the kills. And now it's just chasing after the last enemy to finish off. And do I get the kill? Yay! Hooray! So does it work? Does the armor track provide good protection for your sinuses that's shooting through it? Yes! Yes it does. Against machine guns, autocannons, shotguns, plasma emitters, it's great. You soak up so much damage in the track and you're still firing away at them, taking your time to degun them. Marvellous. Against explosions it works reasonably well. The explosion does get through, but the epicenter is further away from your weapons, so they don't take as much damage, so it helps. And against fire dogs, against flame, the flame will also get through, but you're on a spider and the sinuses are quite high up, and most fire dogs are flaming away at frame level, so you're safe from them as well. Now here we see an auto cannon user try and get me 2-on-1, they're ganging up on me, and a Gravstar shotgun. And let's see how this little episode turns out. They've done the right thing strategically. They've ganged up on one guy, and now I finally turn and shoot the Gravstar, which is in hindsight I should have done that first, because it was heating stuff up and so I was getting all that extra damage. I should have degunned him first. But now 2 against 1, and I've degunned both of them. So I'm going to count that encounter as a win. I've destroyed he's self-destructed. So I've destroyed one. There's one left zooming around. He's got his wedge made of bumpers up the front, but he's not going to do much because he's been degunned. So I'm going to count that as encounter as a win and demonstrate how the W Brigade come a cropper when they charge down this really slow spider and try and do them in. Because I can degun them and they can't degun me most of the time. Of course, if you get completely overwhelmed, well, you're going to get ground down eventually. Even that massive track with all its durability. But still. Well, what else is there? Scorpions. Well, you don't see many scorpions at 7,500, so... yeah. That's the big pro covered. Now the big con. Manoeuvrability. Or rather, the lack of manoeuvrability. Even though the tracks aren't touching the ground, they limit your speed to 60 kilometers an hour. But that doesn't matter because the mechanical legs limit your speed to 40 kilometers an hour. Spider cabin can bump that up to 50 kilometers an hour, which is why I use the spider cabin, well, that and the 12 energy. But that's very, very slow compared to everybody else in the battle most of the time. And it removes your options for manoeuvring from advantage. You just can't get away. You see a dangerous situation developing and you go, oh, I'll get out of there, and just clunk, 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 so slow, and they just come and get you. Like this battle, for instance. Both teams have decided to outflank each other. They're both rushing down the left flank. They're charging clockwise around the map. And I can't keep up. I can't keep up with my team. I could cut across the middle to keep up to them, but then the enemy can see me right in the middle and they can all shoot me. And I'm not going to last then either, so I try and make a run for it and fail. They just... the bulk of the enemy team is just caught up with me and swamped me, and that's it. So that's bad enough, but it gets worse. The armoured track has a 40% power reduction. And that's on top of the power reductions for the legs, and then this just kills your acceleration, and you really feel that lack of acceleration in La Danza della Muerte. You know, when the enemy has invaded your personal space, they're right up close and personal, and you're dodging left and you're dodging right, you're spinning on the spot in order to keep the track facing the enemy so you can shoot them, and it's really difficult. Because you really need the manoeuvrability of legs. Upgraded legs would be even better, but there you go. So that's this build's real Achilles heel. It's a lack of manoeuvrability, and it stops it from being a great build. It's an okay build, but it could be great if it was just that bit more manoeuvrable. And fast. Could keep up with everybody else. That would be nice too. Let's finish the video with a couple of lols. You're gonna need a bigger boat. It turns out this build is very resistant to trackers. It's probably the legs and the track together that does the trick. And you have to admit, I am a tempting target, all alone, left behind by my teammates, not moving very fast, easy to harpoon. But it never seems to turn out so well for the would-be Quint. And again, here in the Ravager's stronghold. Did they take the bait? Yup! Hook, line, sinker, rod, and copy of the Angling Times. That's it for this video. Garage inspection and deconstruction videos to follow.